All right, I am here with our tiebreaker, Aaron Sims. Hey, Aaron.
How you doing?
Good. Welcome back to the show. I were trying to remember which one you were on, but it's been probably what, over a year?
Probably. It was probably about a year ago. Yeah.
Dang. Well, in case people forgot, which I'm sure they didn't, but you are the broker at Keller Williams Festiva in Alabama, and then but you're also you are an agent too. You do
Right.
business, yeah.
Definitely so. Yes.
So you're our tiebreaker today. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Should agents charge a transaction fee?
If they want to, yes. I don't see. I've been charging one since 2015. The team I'm on. It's not a brokerage fee here. I know there's some brokerages in my town that the whole brokerage has a fee.
Mhm.
There are I see it all over the country where agents are at a brokerage that has a fee, and
Right.
our brokerage doesn't have a fee. We have some teams that have a fee. We have some individual agents that have a fee.
Okay.
The majority do not. I've got 300 and probably 90 agents.
Okay.
Under 5% probably have a fee, but there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. That's
So when you guys are charging the fee, do the client, obviously you're going over it when you're going over the contract, right? Are they asking questions about it? Do they say what does it cover?
sometimes, I mean, not often, in my opinion. I go over it. I try to get all I only charge on the buyer side. Not on the listing side.
Okay.
Interesting to see in your post, because a lot of people only had it on the selling side, not the buyers. So it's kind of flipped on its head for me. But
It is kind of flipped because it's weird. And I asked a couple of them about that because when we charged it, it was on both sides. Now we didn't always get it on every time, but like it was on both. And I couldn't understand. So let me ask you, why would you not do it on the seller side? Why just the buyers?
I mean, we now on the seller side, we are probably slightly higher commission that we
So you
get.
charge a higher percentage. You don't do the fee
Right.
plus the percentage. Okay. So then that makes sense why you would charge the fee on the buyer side because the seller may not be offering the commission.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we just see it. This is part of our compensation. Why am I going to let the seller's skill in negotiating determine what I end up getting at the end? And even after they negotiate, the commission they're getting from the listing, how much are they going to give out?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, so, I want to get everybody in the office for a buyer's consultation. If not, try to do it virtually. I go over the whole process.
Right.
Here's what's going to happen from today all the way through closing.
Right.
And it's amazing how many times you've got people that are they bought 2, 3, 4, 5 homes, and they're like, wow, I wish the very first agent would have told us all that. Like, we learned so much today.
That's
And
great.
you say, all right, here's our, buyer's agency agreement. And oh, by the way, and I'm circling and I'm underlining, we have a minimum commission of X and we have a transaction fee of X. And most of the time that's gonna, the commission is probably going to come from the seller.
Mhm.
If it doesn't, you'll know
Yeah.
before you make an offer. And this fee, 2 or 3 years ago in my market, it was pretty standard that you're asking the seller for some closing costs.
Okay.
So in a majority of my career, all that was getting paid by the seller.
Okay.
Even if we needed to get an extra 0.5%, the seller's paying it anyway because we added it all into closing
But
costs.
what about now?
Now, not so much. You're not getting it from the seller.
Right.
But again, you show exceptional value to your buyer and they're not going to question it. But again, in Alabama, which is probably slightly different than a lot of states, we're required at every offer or counter offer to do a estimated closing disclosure.
Oh, wow. Really?
So not only did we close at the beginning, every time we're writing an offer, oh, by the way, if we've got to get an extra 0.5 or 1/4%, or here's our transaction fee, it's on there. Here's what, you're going to bring to closing
So
estimated.
they're very well aware throughout the whole.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that was like when we posted it online, a lot of people were thinking that it was like a fee that was undisclosed, and that is not
That's
accurate.
illegal.
It's illegal. Yeah, like you should absolutely tell people what the charge is before they agree to pay you, right?
And you had all the comments about it's a garbage fee, it's a junk fee. Well, Yeah, if an agent just created a fee and tried to throw it on the disclosure and get paid some amount for doing nothing, well, one, yeah, it's illegal because it's against RESPA if it's a government-backed
Right.
loan. And two, I mean, I don't know how you get anything on the closing disclosure. It's not disclosed. So, I mean, we are showing value. We've got a ton of stuff we do for our buyers. So,
But
you
what do
know,
you
we,
say to people that are saying, well, isn't that what you get paid the commission for to do that stuff? Why does there need to be an extra fee?
I don't know what the listing agent's giving out. I know what I'm worth.
Yeah.
Like I walk into every listing, I'm worth 10% every day, all day long.
Right.
Whatever I negotiate, they're getting a huge discount off the top already.
Right.
I mean, so I'm just gonna leave all my buyer clients. I'm just gonna, let's just see what I get, let's
Yeah.
see what, no, I know what I'm worth. So this is the minimum commission. We could charge a higher minimum commission, but if you do the math or, that would just make our buyer pay more. So we just got a standard fee. It's
Okay.
not too
Does it
much.
cover like, does it have a certain place, certain things that it specifically covers? Or was there a thought process around charging it that it was like, okay, we do these like quote unquote extra things and this fee will cover that? Or is it just like, this is our minimum commission and this is how we present it to them to pay?
I'd say it has morphed over the
Okay.
years. But I mean, we've got a transaction coordinator, so it does, some of it's gonna go towards that, she is in contact with the clients from like once we're going to contract all the way through,
Yeah.
making sure everybody's on the same page, talking to everybody. We've got a ton of extra stuff we'll do. Like if we can't find a house, especially in this market, I mean, there's, oh, we want this neighborhood or this neighborhood. So we're going to do some extra marketing for our buyers. Like we've got Mr. and Miss Smith, looking for a house in your neighborhood. We'll call it in the neighborhood. We'll door knock. So, again, if you're doing a bunch of extra stuff, most buyers aren't going to have an issue with.
Yeah. I think that's like, yeah, I agree. That makes sense. Cool. I agree with you. I think a lot of people get a hang up about it, but they're also potentially the same people that don't get buyer agreements signed.
Sure.
And yeah, so it's like, okay, or that will reduce their commission potentially. But like you said, I mean, you don't have to charge it if you don't want to, but if you do, if you decide you want to charge it, just know that many people don't ask. Like
Right.
they don't push back, I guess. They understand fees.
And I know, I mean, this is, I guess, going to be one of the first points I was going to mention. I mean, just it's a different business model. I
Mhm.
mean, if you don't want that business model, great. There are flat fee companies in my market. Do I want to work at a flat fee company? No. That's the way they do things. Go
Yeah.
for it. Okay. There's people that don't do full service. I'm going to squish you all the time. And unless someone's just like, I don't care. I just want to sell the house and I don't want any value. Okay, great.
Okay, great. That's different.
Well, let them sell it. But there's different models.
But I think it's easy to show value. The chances of the client, buyer or seller, having had a bad real estate experience in the past is really high.
Not bad.
So it's going to be easy for you as the agent to show value beyond what they've experienced. And that's why they don't ask. That's why they don't push back on it. They understand that that is the charge because they can see that you're doing so many other things than what they've experienced in the past from somebody else.
Right. I agent in our team several years ago, right after I joined it. He had I think it was like $650,000, $700,000 transaction. I had to get an extra 0.5%. And this was the second deal with those people. So they were like, no, you're worth it.
Yeah.
Because you're amazing. Y'all have done so much. We would have never gotten this house.
Well, and being a real estate agent is a lot more expensive than it used to be, and just because like as an agent, maybe not you, but like some of the listeners think like maybe they're yelling at they're yelling right now at us, right, at their phone while they're listening. But maybe you got to look at yourself and say, okay, what am I worth? Like we haven't, as real estate agents, we haven't had a raise necessarily, right? And the percentage, I know
Right.
the values of homes have gone up, but what are you really making here? And what are you really spending? Our costs have gone up exponentially.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah, right. So you're not profiting as much as you used to. I
right.
don't
And again, I mean, as a buyer's agent, I'm not I'm not thrilled about letting the skill of the listing agent determine what I'm worth to my
Right,
buyer. So again, if you go to a listing, you're negotiating your compensation, you're gonna get
right,
something up. I'm sitting in my buyer's agency, I'm negotiating my compensation. Now, most or all is typically gonna be compensated, come from the seller, but if
right.
it's not, I got it on paper. And
Exactly.
they have no problem at the end making up the difference if you do your job.
I agree. So if people want to yell at you in person or they want to give you a referral, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Uh, Probably my email,
Okay.
just aaronsims@kw.com.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I appreciate you being on again. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure.